All right, here we are in lesson 42, book 3, beginning rock guitar. This is called, I call it Bluebird Buffet. It's sort of a play on Jimmy Buffett, kind of calypso rock kind of thing. And we're doing a follow-up on the last lesson, which was harmony in sixth. Remember, sixth intervals. And this one, we're mixing major chords with sixth intervals. And it's kind of a R&B sounding thing. It's you want to let me just play through it and then I'll talk about it. Okay, so. All right. So it is kind of a cool sounding little riff, and it's light, it's kind of pop oriented, and like I say, I call it Bluebird Buffet, Buffet being a play on Buffett, like Jimmy Buffett, because it sounds like a Jimmy Buffett type, you know, Margaritaville kind of thing, you know. I'm not a big Jimmy Buffett fan, but there is, you know, it's kind of like a island rock or Florida Keys rock, you know, calypso kind of rhythms. And so let's talk about the strum. We've done these kind of strums before where we purposely mute the strings by relaxing the pressure of the major chord, like. So if you look at the first measure, it's 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And so on beat 2, you're hitting just some X'd out strings, hitting generally in the bass of the, you can hear the echo on my amplifier here, but it's like 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So it's down, down, up, down. And that second downstroke is the muted string. So you have to have a touch sensitivity to where when you're pressing when you want to hear the notes, you're not pressing when you just want to hear a percussive chink, you know, on the strings. And then so you have this the sixths are either going to go up like, and I'm using pick and ring finger. You could do down up, and then strum, but you got to mute in between, like we talked about in the last lesson of sixths. So if you haven't seen that lesson, make sure you look at that before you look at this riff. So it's like down, 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 up, down, and then these are descending sixths. Descending to an E. Now the E might be a little, because it's an open string chord, to do those chinks you might have to do a little blocking with do a little like, so it's like, sorry I didn't do that right. It's down, down, up, down, and then up, down, fret D chord, down, down, up, down, descend. Now the last part is tricky because we're not doing the regular riff. We're just doing sixths but with bass notes in between, like, and then up at the 12th fret, hitting the 6th string as a bass note. And then you go to the 5th fret and you have to hammer. So you really have to bar your first finger on 3 strings and hammer. It's a grace note hammer, so it's an immediate hammer. And then 2nd and 3rd fingers. So it's, and then the same thing with the E chord, a grace note hammer, 2nd and 3rd fingers, and then da, and then, so the ending's a little bit different than the regular riff, but you know, try to make sure you're doing the right rhythm and that you got the right efficient fingering. So basically we're doing fingers 1 and 2 for a minor 6th, and fingers 2 and 3 for major 6th with the left hand. And it's really pretty straightforward, but when you get it all down together, let me just play through it again. It's like, that last part where you don't strum the chords, but you're just doing, it almost sounds like finger picking. That's the toughest part, because every measure you have to be ready for what's next, and it's different shapes and different bass notes, not the same bass note. You're doing either the 5th string open or the 6th string open. So it's 5th string, 6th string, 5th string, 6th string. So it's like 5th string, 6th string, different shapes, and then that grace note hammer, 5th string bass, and then a grace note hammer, 6th string bass, and then the ending. Use your 2nd finger as a guide, and you go slide from 7 to 9. And of course, you could do a Jimmy Page. No, probably not. Probably not. That would be distasteful in this song, maybe. You can do whatever you want, really, you know. So, Bluebird Buffet, it's kind of light and kind of popish, but it's really pretty cool. 6ths are great, you know. You can, like, instead of just strumming a chord, you can, if you know what 6ths are, you can do any chord. And it's pretty much the same pattern, you know. They're used a lot in R&B and well, country rock, country music, just even hardcore country, you know. Guitar players like I can't think of his name, Don something of the played with Buck Owens. He was a great Telecaster player, and he did a lot of 6ths. I know he did, you know, and a lot of interesting bends. So enjoy this. This is a really cool riff, I think. You know, should be fun to play. once you get it down. You'll have to work on the difficult parts and drill them. Just drill them. Get used to using the ring finger, or you can just pick with the flat pick. I was doing the pick and ring finger, and I probably already mentioned this, but you could go down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. But when you hit them together, you got to make sure you're muting the string in between. Otherwise, it's might sound pretty, but it's not appropriate. So you just want to hear the two strings and mute the one that's in between them. Enjoy this, and hit a like button if you enjoy it, and if you got something out of this, and also subscribe. I need more subscribers, and need to build up my YouTube thing, and also follow me on Instagram and Facebook, John Hedger Guitar Studio. All right, so enjoy, and I'll see you in the next lesson.